Everybody, and welcome to the Traveling Therapist channel. Today we're going to be talking about my top 5 coping skills and why we need coping skills in the first place. So we're going to jump right in because we have a lot to cover, and the first thing that I want to talk about is why is it that we need coping skills and what are they? So very briefly, coping skills, tools, mechanisms, however you want to call them, are actually ways that we can use our knowledge of our bodies, our minds, our environment to help us adapt and accept and manage changes in our lives, whether it's traumatic change or it's just transitional change. But these coping mechanisms allow us to go through life facing these changes without becoming traumatized by them. I'd like to compare coping skills to having a toolbox of tools when building a house. You know, you have this project in front of you, no different than the project of living life every day, and there's going to be challenges, and you want to be able to have the right tools to manage to manage these challenges. So the same with coping skills. You know, the more variety you have, the more comfortable you are using them, the more apt you're going to be and the more adaptable you're going to be. So life's not going to be as stressful as for someone that really just they've been managing one way their whole lives. Like, for example, drinking alcohol, their whole life since they were young, maybe in their teens, they dealt with life stressors by going out and drinking a beer and getting drunk. And that's how they dealt with, maybe parental issues in the home, maybe issues with work, issues with their boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And that's all they know. Well, there will come a point when they're going to realize, this really hasn't been working. It's just sort of been like a band-aid because I haven't really figured out how to truly accept and adapt the changes that have happened in my life. And so that's why it's important to recognize that having multiple coping skills is really helpful to have a fully engaged life and an adaptable life. So, okay, now that I have explained that, top 5, not 10, 5, top 5 coping skills that I like to use personally are meditation. So in previous videos, I have used active meditation, and I've shown you how to do active meditation. In this video, I'm talking about a type of meditation called grounding. It is also a form of coping, and grounding is basically an opportunity to really let go of things that are weighing you down, things that are taking up a lot of energy, a lot of space in your mind and your time and your day, and coming in to the present, really just bringing it to the present. So a good way to ground is, for example, figure out what your sign is, your zodiac sign is, and find what kind of element is associated with that zodiac sign. Or maybe you already know what elements you like. So maybe you're a water baby. Maybe you just love being around the water. Or maybe you love the outdoors and just feeling the breeze. Maybe you like the earth. So maybe you like to go for walks. Maybe you like nature and trees. Maybe you prefer fire, so you like campfires, or you like to look at candles, light them up in a bath, or just go outside and have a little campfire going. Whatever it is that works for you, find that element that you really connect with, and make use of it in the meditation process. So you are going to take slow, deep breaths when you are exposing yourself to this element. So let's say that you're sitting by the water, or you're sitting in your backyard with your feet to the ground, or you're looking at a candle, or you're in a bathtub with candles and you can look at the flame. When you're ready and you're within that element's reach, you're going to take your deep breath. Usually I like to do 3, nice and steady through the nose, and slowly out your mouth. You repeat that 3 times with your eyes closed, and you're going to just bring into your mind's eye, you're going to focus on what are the things that are troubling you. What are the things that are really weighing you down? Did you have an argument? Did you have a bad day? Were you late? Is there something that's causing you anxiety? And you're going to focus on taking those thoughts, and you're just going to tell you're going to give yourself the opportunity to let go. Just let go of the negativity. Feel as you're breathing nice and steady. Nice and steady. Feel yourself letting go of the negativity. For those that are with their feet on the ground, just feel that energy going straight into the ground. And in your mind, you're going to repeat to yourself, I let go of what's not mine. I let go of what's not mine to control. I let go of what's not mine to hold on to. And I bring into myself peace. I bring into myself calm. I accept love. I accept comfort. And really focus on how you feel near and reaching with the element. So that dirt on your feet, if you're sitting on the ground, how the ground feels on your legs, your thighs, your butt, everything, how the wind feels in your face, like really connecting with that element around you and just letting go of that negative energy. So I usually suggest that be done at least once a week, and to just sort of let go. And it can be done in a shower, or in a bath, or in your backyard, or in just in a park. It can be really anywhere. The next one, it's kind of off, but boundaries. I actually believe boundaries are huge and a super important coping skill. And this is especially important for those of you who suffer from difficulty communicating their needs. Maybe you're a little insecure, maybe you're a little bit self-conscious. Get to know yourself, observe what are the things and behaviors from other people that you feel that really hurt or upset or bother you, and then go from there. Start to verbalize, using I statements, saying, whenever this happens between us, I feel hurt, or I feel mistreated or disrespected, and communicate that to the other person. And really the most important thing about setting boundaries is you want to know where you stand with that boundary. You want to know that it's something important to you. It's something important enough for you to get out of your comfort zone and defend it and have follow through. That's the first thing. Secondly, it has to be something that is realistic. Set an expectation that you know that the person can actually achieve. And then the last thing is setting boundaries as far as making sure that within yourself and for yourself, you are also doing the right thing. You're not abusing yourself, you're not mistreating yourself, you're not talking badly about yourself. And it's okay to tell yourself, this is not okay. It's not okay for me to say this about myself. It's not okay for me to treat myself this way. So, boundaries. Next thing that I'd like to talk about as far as coping is physical activity. Now, there's many different forms of physical activity. As long as you're getting out there and you're breaking a sweat, or you're at least moving, that's really the most important thing. Whether it's yoga, tai chi, kickboxing, football, going to the gym, going for a run, going for a walk, doesn't matter. Exercise is such a wonderful, healthy, helpful way to deal with stress, deal with anxiety, deal with anger, that I really need to say that's top 5 for sure. Okay, so we have grounding, we have exercise, we have boundaries. The next one that I'd like to talk about is socializing. So socialization for me is kind of a two-way street. It's identifying in your life what are the people in your social circle that build you up, that help you, that make you feel good, and trying to create and really solidify and foster relationships with those people. And then it's also about identifying people in your social circle that really bring you down, that really don't build you up, don't make you feel good about yourself. Maybe they're a little bit of a bully, maybe they take advantage of you, maybe they're that person that's always negative about everything. And then kind of starting to set boundaries with that person and separating yourself from them. So socializing to me is more than just let's go out and have fun and be around people. I think that's wonderful and that's super healthy, but it's also about picking the right people to socialize with, and it's about being with the right crowd and being in the right environment where it's going to work as a coping skill, because you know that when you're feeling down or you're feeling upset or anxious or overwhelmed, you know that when you're around those people or around that person in particular, you can really feel the difference, and that's when it becomes a really powerful social coping skill. The last one is thought challenging, and I'm probably going to do a whole nother video on thought challenging alone, but thought challenging being take a moment every day to identify when you are talking about different things in your life, especially things that stress you out. Are you being very negative about it? Are you being negative about yourself? Are you being kind of a cup half empty, or are you being critical? If those are thoughts that you're having about yourself, about your situation, challenge that thought. Challenge it. Ask yourself, is it a fact? Do I really only have this option? Is it really as bad as it seems? Are there other ways that I can deal with it? Are there other ways that I can make myself feel better? Are there ways that I can comfort myself through this process? And then maybe you can either change up the verbiage, or you can use some positive reinforcement instead, more of, I really can do this, or this is challenging. It's challenging, but I think if I take it one step at a time, I think I can manage it. So really think about, is this way of thinking really the best way to address this issue, or can I challenge that into something much more positive? Can I change it up into something much more positive? I am going to take some of my favorite links on coping skills, and I'm going to attach it to my website. So if you'd like to visit, it's thetravelingtherapist.net. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or any questions, please feel free to leave them right here. And you have a wonderful day.